Ever wondered how young people find love without dating apps, parties, or even being allowed to hold hands? In Amish communities, romance follows ancient rules that would shock most modern couples. These 10 courtship rituals have guided young hearts for centuries, creating bonds so strong that divorce rates remain near zero. Prepare to discover love's most guarded secrets. Ritual 1. The Sunday night singing. Every other week, as the sun sets across Amish farmland, young people gather for one of their community's most important social events. The Sunday night singing brings together unmarried youth from multiple church districts, creating opportunities for romance that simply don't exist during regular church services, where men and women sit separately. These gatherings happen in homes or barns, with youth arriving by buggy from neighboring communities. Boys and girls sit at long wooden tables facing each other, close enough to make eye contact but far enough to maintain proper respect. They sing German hymns and English gospel songs for several hours, their voices blending in harmony while hearts secretly race. Between songs, careful conversations begin. A shared glance during a familiar hymn, a quiet comment about the weather, or a simple smile can spark interest that might bloom into lifelong love. The singing provides perfect cover for these early romantic stirrings, allowing young people to interact naturally without obvious flirtation. Parents appreciate singings because they happen within religious context, ensuring their children meet potential partners who share their faith and values. Youth love them because they offer freedom to socialize beyond their immediate family circles and church districts. As the evening winds down around 10 o'clock, the real excitement begins. This is when brave young men make their moves, setting the stage for our next ritual that determines who gets a ride home. Ritual 2. The Buggy Ride Home Invitation. As the singing ends and youth prepare to leave, nervous energy fills the air. Young men face a moment that could change their entire future, asking a girl if she'd like a ride home in his buggy. This simple invitation carries enormous weight in Amish courtship. Accepting means she's interested in getting to know him better. Declining means he should look elsewhere for romance. There's no casual dating in this community. Every interaction has serious potential for marriage. The boy approaches the girl he's been watching all evening, removes his hat respectfully, and quietly asks if he can drive her home. If she says yes, they walk to his buggy together while other youth pretend not to notice this significant development. The ride home becomes their first private conversation, a chance to discover whether they enjoy each other's company without the crowd of singing participants around them. They travel slowly through country roads, talking about their families, their hopes, and their faith, while horses clip-clop through the peaceful night. If the evening goes well, they might arrange to see each other again. If not, they part as friends with no hard feelings or awkward explanations required. This tradition puts enormous pressure on young men to gather courage, while giving young women complete control over whether romance begins or ends at the buggy door. Ritual 3. Bundling. Perhaps the most misunderstood Amish courtship practice is bundling, also called bed courtship. This centuries-old tradition involves unmarried couples lying fully clothed in bed together, talking through the night while maintaining strict physical boundaries. Modern people often react with shock or disbelief, but bundling has deep practical and spiritual roots. During harsh European winters, when Amish ancestors faced religious persecution, courting couples needed warm, private places to get acquainted. Bundling provided safety from both cold weather and prying authorities. In traditional bundling, couples remain completely dressed throughout the night. Some families place a wooden board down the middle of the bed to ensure physical separation. The practice focuses on emotional intimacy rather than physical attraction, allowing couples to share their deepest thoughts, dreams, and fears in complete privacy. Parents typically supervise bundling arrangements, ensuring appropriate behavior while giving young people unprecedented freedom to truly know each other. Couples spend entire nights discussing their views on faith, family, and future plans, conversations that might take months of casual dating in the outside world. Only the most conservative old order Amish communities still practice bundling today. Many Amish groups have abandoned this tradition due to obvious temptations and potential complications it creates. However, supporters argue that bundling creates stronger marriages because couples develop genuine emotional connections before physical attraction takes over. They point to extremely low divorce rates in communities that still practice this intensive courtship method. Ritual 4. The Blue Gate Signal. Throughout Amish communities, painted gates and fences serve as silent communication systems that outsiders rarely understand. When a family paints their yard gate blue, they're sending a clear message. A daughter of marriageable age lives in this household. This custom allows young men to identify potential romantic interests without embarrassing anyone through direct inquiries. A blue gate signals that parents welcome respectful suitors and that their daughter has reached appropriate age for courtship. The tradition works both ways. Families take down blue paint when daughters marry or move away, while fresh blue coats appear when younger daughters come of age. Observant young men learn to notice these subtle changes as they travel through their community. Blue holds special religious significance in Amish culture, representing heavenly virtues and spiritual purity. Using this sacred color for courtship signals connects romantic love with divine blessing and community approval. However, not every blue gate indicates marriageable daughters. Sometimes blue is just a family's preferred color. Young men must use discretion and additional social cues rather than relying solely on paint colors for romantic guidance. This practice demonstrates how Amish communities use symbolic communication to share important information while maintaining privacy and avoiding direct confrontation about sensitive personal matters. Modern Amish families sometimes continue this tradition more as cultural heritage than practical necessity, since young people now have multiple ways to meet potential partners. Ritual 5. Letter courtship. Once Amish couples begin dating, written letters become their primary means of deepening their relationship between visits. These carefully crafted messages reveal hearts and minds in ways that face-to-face conversations cannot always achieve. Amish letter courtship follows specific traditions that emphasize sincerity over romance. Couples write about their daily activities, their thoughts on faith and family, and their hopes for the future. They avoid flowery language or passionate declarations, focusing instead on practical matters and spiritual growth. Young women often keep these letters tied with ribbons, treasuring them as proof of their suitor's serious intentions and character development. The letters serve as courtship records that families review when considering marriage proposals. Writing letters requires time, thought, and genuine effort that modern texting cannot match. Each message represents significant investment in the relationship, proving the writer's dedication and communication skills. The formal nature of letter writing encourages couples to think carefully before expressing their feelings, leading to more meaningful exchanges than casual conversation might produce. These written records often become family heirlooms passed down through generations. Letter courtship also allows parents to monitor their children's relationships by occasionally reviewing correspondence, ensuring that romantic development follows appropriate community standards and religious guidelines. Ritual 6. The volleyball connection. Before the formal singing begins each Sunday evening, Amish youth gather for volleyball games that serve as carefully orchestrated social mixers. These matches provide the only opportunity for unmarried young people to interact playfully before the serious business of hymn singing and potential courtship begins. Volleyball offers perfect balance between fun and propriety. Boys and girls can be on the same team, work toward common goals, and celebrate victories together while maintaining appropriate physical distance. The game creates natural opportunities for conversation, laughter, and gentle competition that reveals personality traits impossible to discover during formal singing. Parents approve of volleyball because it happens in broad daylight with full community supervision. Youth love it because athletic activity breaks down social barriers more effectively than structured religious events. Smart young men use volleyball strategy to their advantage, ensuring they play on teams with girls who interest them. A well-timed spike or a supportive comment during the game can make powerful impressions that influence later buggy ride invitations. The games also reveal important character qualities that Amish families value highly. Does someone encourage teammates or criticize mistakes? Do they compete fairly or bend rules? These observations help young people evaluate potential partners beyond mere physical attraction. Ritual 7. Secret celery planting. Sharp-eyed community members know to watch for unusual gardening activities that signal secret wedding preparations. When Amish families suddenly plant large quantities of celery, observant neighbors understand that a daughter's engagement announcement may be coming soon. Celery plays crucial roles in traditional Amish weddings, appearing in decorative arrangements and special soup served at reception meals. Growing enough celery for a wedding requires months of advanced planning, so families must begin planting long before public engagement announcements. This creates delicious community speculation as neighbors notice expanded celery patches and wonder which daughter might be planning marriage. The tradition adds excitement to engagement seasons while maintaining family privacy about timing and specific details. Parents enjoy this subtle way of preparing for their daughter's wedding without making premature announcements that could create embarrassment if plans change. The celery planting allows them to begin practical preparations while keeping romantic developments appropriately private. Community members play along with this gentle deception, pretending not to notice obvious wedding preparations while secretly placing bets on which couples will announce engagements during autumn church services. The tradition demonstrates how Amish families balance practical necessities with cultural preferences for privacy and proper timing in romantic announcements. Modern Amish communities sometimes skip celery planting if they purchase wedding supplies rather than growing their own, though traditional families often maintain this custom as cultural heritage. Ritual 8. The Courting Buggy. When Amish young men turn 16, they face an important rite of passage, purchasing their first courting buggy. This lightweight, open-topped vehicle represents freedom, independence, and readiness for romance in ways that car ownership never could match. Courting buggies differ significantly from family transportation. They're smaller, faster, and more stylish, designed specifically for impressing young women rather than hauling children or farm supplies. Boys save money for months to afford these special vehicles that signal their entry into adult social life. The buggy purchase becomes community news as neighbors evaluate the young man's taste, financial responsibility, and serious intentions about courtship. A well-maintained courting buggy suggests good character traits that parents want in potential sons-in-law. These vehicles provide private transportation for dating couples while maintaining community visibility. Unlike cars that can disappear into anonymous urban settings, buggies keep couples within familiar territory where appropriate behavior remains expected. Boys take enormous pride in their courting buggies, decorating them carefully and maintaining them meticulously. The buggy becomes an extension of their personality and a tool for attracting romantic interest. Parents often help finance courting buggy purchases, recognizing these vehicles as necessary investments in their son's future happiness and marriage prospects. Ritual 9. Private engagement period. Unlike modern couples who announce engagements immediately, Amish couples typically keep their decision to marry secret for several months. This private engagement period serves multiple important purposes in their careful approach to marriage preparation. The secrecy allows couples to be absolutely certain about their decision without public pressure or family interference. If doubts arise, they can end the engagement quietly without community embarrassment or complicated explanations. During this time, couples focus intensively on practical marriage preparation. They discuss financial plans, family expectations, and spiritual goals while their engagement remains known only to themselves. Parents may suspect their children's engagement, but traditionally wait for official notification rather than asking direct questions. This respectful distance allows young adults to maintain control over their romantic timeline. The private period also permits wedding planning to begin discreetly. Families can start preparations without confirming engagement rumors that circulate through the community. This tradition reflects Amish values of humility and privacy that discourage public displays of personal business before appropriate timing. The eventual announcement carries more weight because community members know the couple has spent months considering their decision carefully. The secrecy adds excitement to engagement season as neighbors watch for subtle clues about which couples might announce wedding plans during upcoming church services. Ritual 10. The church announcement. The culmination of Amish courtship arrives when the bishop formally announces upcoming marriages during Sunday church service. This public declaration transforms secret engagements into community celebrations while maintaining proper religious authority over marriage decisions. The announcement typically happens in early fall, after harvest work ends, and families can focus on wedding preparations. The bishop calls engaged couples' names together, officially recognizing their intention to marry and inviting community support for their upcoming union. This moment carries enormous emotional weight as months of secret planning finally become public knowledge. Community members express joy and approval, while couples experience relief that their private journey has reached successful conclusion. The church announcement also serves practical purposes, allowing families to coordinate wedding schedules and avoid conflicts between multiple celebrations. It provides official church approval that validates the couple's choice and ensures community acceptance. Following the announcement, wedding preparations shift into high gear as extended families mobilize to create memorable celebrations. The formal declaration marks the beginning of the final phase before marriage, when couples transition from private courtship to public preparation for lifelong commitment. These 10 courtship rituals reveal how Amish communities have preserved meaningful romance in an increasingly casual world. Their emphasis on character over appearance, commitment over convenience, and community approval over individual desire creates marriages that typically last lifetimes. While some practices like bundling have largely disappeared, others continue thriving as young Amish people adapt ancient wisdom to contemporary circumstances. Their approach offers valuable lessons about patience, intentionality, and the importance of shared values in building lasting relationships. Which ritual surprised you most? Share your thoughts below and subscribe for more fascinating insights into traditional communities that challenge modern assumptions about love and marriage.